All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another SandStorm meetup. Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday, middle of the week. Today we are joined by Andrew and Justin from the Council of Kingz. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Awesome, man.
I'm doing great. I really appreciate you guys coming on today to talk about your project.
We look
Yeah, we're
forward to it.
very excited.
And you usually like to start the show out with a little bit of introduction for anyone that's watching that might not know about you guys or about your project. So if you just want to tell me a little bit about you guys first, how you got into NFTs and crypto, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the Council of Kingz.
Yeah. So I'm 22. I first kind of got introduced to crypto in 2017. I think like a lot of people, I didn't know too much about it. I just knew, it was a very new thing, or relatively new. And a lot of my friends got into it, so I was in that for a little bit. And then, come last year, I got really heavy into Top Shot. I thought it was really amazing and really cool. But again, I didn't understand like the underlying technology and the actual fact that, it was like real digital ownership or some kind of it. And then kind of Top Shot went down. I don't know what happened with them, but it kind of died off a bit. And so I took a bit of a break, and then I came back in early August, I think, for my first like actual NFT mints from projects in the community. And that's when I was joining, literally like hundreds of Discords. I was following everyone on Twitter and just really learning everything you need to learn about, the space, because it's really hard to navigate if you don't do that, I think. And then since then, it's just been, this experience. I've known Justin for some time, and I'll let him introduce, and then we can talk about Council of Kingz.
Yeah, I'm basically a serial entrepreneur. I've been in the call center space for the last 25 years and real estate for the last 25 years. And I've done several other things, bought and sold a bunch of businesses. I've had call centers in 9 different countries with over 2,500 employees or agents.
Oh, wow.
I'm currently developing 188 townhomes and 60,000 square feet of commercial retail space in North Carolina. And I've been in crypto since 2016. I'm basically a diamond hand holder. I've been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum all along and never sold a single one. So I'm just basically holding on till 250,000 and 10,000 Ethereum and retire off of that. And then I got interested in the metaverse, and Andrew brought the NFTs to me and kind of walked me through this whole process about, 10, 11 months ago. And we started creating and coming up with ideas and wanted to build a real concept and a real project and be different than the norm of what is happening inside the space right now.
You say, I'm developing all these properties in real life. I'm trying to develop some in the metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many similarities in real life real estate and the metaverse. If you can visualize it, and there's so much opportunity. I mean, the way I look at the metaverse right now is I look at if I was a real estate investor in the 1900s in Manhattan, except for the difference is it's not going to take 100 years to be fully developed.
Yeah.
It's going to happen very fast. So the opportunities that are here and being early and having the opportunity to be involved and actually create and develop and be a part of this amazing community is absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah. No, yeah, I like the analogy of buying land in Manhattan. It's interesting that, Andrew, you said you came from like Top Shot, and I feel like, a lot of people, there's like a lot of these events where it gets people into the space because it's so new. Like I feel like this last year, there's so many people that their first crypto they bought was Doge. And I know it's like a meme and some people hate on it, but dude, it literally brought people into crypto because they bought it and then they're like, well, now I'm gonna buy like some actual coins and get into it. So I just wonder what the next thing will be. Hopefully NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, it becomes where the first thing they buy in is something real and has real value instead of kind of like a meme coin or
Yeah.
like a rug pull or whatever it might be. It really sucks to see that happening so much, but I think it's changing just a bit. But yeah, I got into Top Shot. I was introduced. I was into like sports cards, and I like trading cards and collecting, and so it would like pop up on my Facebook feed, and I would see other people talk about it and like laugh at it, and I kind of laughed at it too. I was like, you can literally watch the YouTube clip of this. Would someone want to purchase it? And then, it was just a collectible thing, and I think it's kind of similar for NFTs and how people kind of want to collect and build, but you get to invest in communities and people, and it's a really cool space. It's very different, I think, from Top Shot.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is, but it does have that connection. I always say I can't wait. I hope it happens, but like a Top Shot version of Pokemon, I think that would bring mass amounts of people like that just don't, they hear about NFTs and now they're like, oh, I can get Pokemon NFTs, I'm down. And then they just, like you said, like you get into it and then you start joining 1,000 Discords and you just learn so much more about the space. So I think that'd be a good bridge for that.
Yeah, I mean the single best thing about this space is the communities and the people you can meet and the friends you can
100%.
meet and grow and learn with. The money is secondary. It's a great thing. There's people who make a ton of it, but I think I've made so many friends and so many connections, and I've met people, and I've built relationships with that I otherwise would never have met. That's probably my favorite thing about everything that we're doing.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Council of Kingz while we're here today. Tell me a little bit about the project. People out there watching right now that might not know, what you guys are doing, what you guys are about. Give me a brief little overview.
Yeah. So Council of Kingz, we're a metaverse real estate investment company. We had our Kingz. You can see them on the screen. We had 7,777 King NFTs. Very atypical from the normal kind of PFP art. But so what we do is, we invested in metaverse real estate in the Sandbox, in the Decentraland, and Somnium Space, NFT Worlds network. We really diversified, and we made that a point. I think there's going to be, a lot of metaverses that come out, and it's going to be hard to tell who's going to be the winner and who's going to be the loser. So we, put an emphasis on diversification, and we made sure, we're not emotionally attached to anything. If something does happen, and we can easily kind of get out and move on to the next and figure out the best play in regards to the portfolio. And so we had, our mint, it sold out in like under 12 hours. It was really amazing because we did it completely organically for the marketing and promoting. It was just, providing insight and knowledge and value in Twitter spaces and in the Discord. We did no shills, no paid advertising, nothing of the sort. So it was amazing to see that. And then immediately we started investing. We took 75% of the entire mint, 800 Ethereum, and we put it into land and tokens and developing as well. We're partnered with Land Vault. They do an amazing job. They help us with all of our builds pretty much. And so currently, we are developing on 3 or 4 or 5 different plots right now. A few in the Sandbox, some very large ones in the Sandbox. But the real goal, I think, with Council of Kingz was, we saw so many projects that were the value. There really wasn't anything that the project was attached to. It was really just based on like the community and the sentiment around the project. Like the roadmap, it wouldn't have any like tangible assets that, you can tie to and connect the project with. And so we really wanted to have it where we have a project where it's like unfuddable, nobody can drop the actual value of the underlying like asset within the project that it's based around. So it's, we have this land, we have this real asset that has its own value, and it's not based on how many community members we have or what the floor price is. It's just solely based around the actual value of the land and what we're doing and developing and how we execute on it. And that kind of gives us more responsibility because now it's up to us to provide that value and do what we said we were going to do, which we've been doing, but it's a much longer process. The metaverse, we're only getting started. It's going to be a completely different space in the next 5 to 10 years. But Council of Kingz, it's really just, it revolves entirely around metaverse land and metaverse real estate.
Nice. Yeah. And on the website it said kings and queens. Now, are there queen NFTs?
Yeah, yeah. So we had a burn mechanism. It's
Okay.
actually ongoing right now. We just had our raffle. There's only going to be 500 high kings and high queens. So there's going to be 250 queens, 250 high kings, and so
Oh, okay.
you're going to need to burn 5 kings, and you get either one king or one queen. And the purpose of that is, well, first it takes 32% of the initial collection and it burns it, um, and then comes out is 500 um, high kings and high queens, which our main utility aside from investing in the metaverse is we have this thing called Mars, which is marketing allocation reward strategy, which it lets our holders make themselves eligible to participate in our kind of marketing budget. And
Mm-hmm.
so 80% of all rental income, 60% of secondary sales, 80% of kind of short to midterm flips. So we purchase, sand at 280 and we sell it at 320 or something like that. That all goes into Mars, which then would get, sent out and paid. It pays out the eligible holders who participate in the marketing tax or whatever it is for that month, and it gives them, a percent of Mars. So it kind of indirectly ties the NFTs to the portfolio because you can't tie the NFTs to the asset and they can't have ownership. And we're not doing any passive income and we're not doing dividends. We spend a lot of time and a lot of hours talking to lawyers to figure out the best possible way to provide that value back to the NFTs without giving like equity. And so that's what we came up with. And so one king, it yields 0.01% of Mars. And then one high king, so the purpose of the burn is you would get 0.09% of Mars. And so, you're turning the 5 kings or 0.05%, you're going to burn and you get that 0.04% in addition, for free, essentially.
Nice. And you said that the burn is ongoing right now. How many have been burnt so far?
So it didn't. So we had a raffle. Initially, we were just going to leave it open for anyone, first come, first serve. But we had so much demand, and people were kind of getting worried that they wouldn't get one. So we decided to do a raffle instead. So we just had the raffle selection. There was, I think, like 1,000 entries, and there's only 500 high kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a raffle, and that's being selected right now. I think our dev just did the shuffling and the random winner selection, and so that'll be posted tomorrow. And then they get a burn pass kind of airdrop to them, and with that burn pass, they'll be able to use those 5 kings and burn them for a high king or queen. So that should be the 25th, I believe, is when the burn starts.
Awesome. And what day did you guys mint?
That was January 24th was the pre-sale, and then we had a 48-hour pre-sale, and the 26th was the public.
Okay, so
it's been 2 months.
You guys have been around 2 months. Because I saw you said you were talking about building organically, like you didn't rely a whole lot on Twitter shills, and you think, well, I guess you got 1,000 entries of people wanting to burn their kings to get into the collection of 500. So I would say you definitely got some people that are still interested in the project. I mean, 2 months in this space is like, it's like 2 years.
Yeah,
you can see projects come and go within a month.
Yeah, and so the reason we did it organically, I mean, we fully expected to mint out in like weeks or months.
Mhm.
Even we did not expect a
12
one-day mint.
hours.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, it was totally like a blindside. I mean, we were very happy about it, but what we were doing, we did 0 invite competitions, 0 shill, 0 paid ads, nothing like that. It was literally as organic as we possibly could, and so it was a very slow growth. But the people we were bringing in were people who were listening to us in the Twitter spaces and finding us through other followers that they follow, and the whole rhetoric was, this is a very long-term play, this is a long-term, this is not short-term flips by any means. Don't come here to try and flip the NFT. We are building for the metaverse, with the metaverse, to grow with the metaverse. And so this is as long-term as it gets. This is going to be, a safe purchase, and it's not going to be a rug pull, and we're just going to be growing. And everyone, like, I don't know, like 90% of the people that joined were people who heard that vision and they were like, okay, yeah, I really believe in this. I see the vision and the goal. And so, we have like there's never been more than like 3% listed on OpenSea because everyone is just holding, waiting for Mars to get started, which is going to be like we've been working on that contract for 2 months now, I think. The audit alone is going to take like 3 weeks. It's, it's going to be automatically determining the weighted values of how many Kingz you're going to get from Mars, how much is in Mars each month, how many it's very complicated, but they see the vision, and it was very purposeful. We didn't think we would grow that fast after mint, but we're glad we did, and there was a reason for the way we did things, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. And you said, so talking more about Mars, so that it's currently like it's not active. Mars
No.
is not. Okay.
No. Yeah, so that's could be a smart contract that's extremely complex. We get all of our contracts audited, and this one's going to be, like they said, at least 3 weeks just to fully go through it and make sure everything is good. So that's being built now. Hopefully that'll be ready within a month or two. But again, so for Mars, that's just so people can, trustless payments to people, and it relies entirely on, just the smart contract itself and the ETH going into Mars, and then it'll be automated. So because we're not going to be sending 1,800 payments to individuals to people. That's just no way. So that's being worked on currently. All of our rental income and our developments we've been working on very hard. It's tricky because the sandbox isn't open yet, but we see, I think, the most potential in the sandbox as of right now. But everything is in progress. This was kind of our first big event, the burn. It was really the burn, new website, and then kind of Mars would activate sometime after that, and then from there it's just we build.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the metaverses, because like you said, you guys are buying lands in multiple different metaverses. We'll kind of go through each of them here. The first one being the sandbox. Is there anything that you can discuss about what your guys' plans are to do within the sandbox? What kind of land do you got, how much, and like what are you going to build on it?
So for how much land, we have 2 6x6s, 2 3x3s, a 2x2, and then we have several 1-of-1s, like 5 to 10 1-of-1s.
I think it's 96 plots total right now.
Yeah, in the sandbox.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And so a lot of those are going to be, I don't want to give out exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to be kind of social hubs and places for a lot of different communities to come together. I think, a lot of it, people put maybe too much of an emphasis on location, when I think that doesn't matter as much. I think it's more about the experience that you can build, the unique, immersive experience that only, it's only limited to your imagination and your creativity and your builders. So we're building things that are focused on bringing people together. That'll be an interest point and a place people will actually want to go. It won't just be like, an office building in a 1x1. And you're hoping for some reason people will want to go to the office building because you're building next to, I don't know, Walking Dead or something. So it's really about building large interest points. Right now we're working on our 6x6, and that's going to be a huge hub with a ton of different communities and projects and companies all kind of coming together to create, this huge collective of, like 1 million followers so far into this, one hub space. Right now you're showing our 2x2, which was our first purchase ever. We bought that like a hour after our pre-sale started, and we sold a certain amount of NFTs. And so that's going to be for holders only. It's like a kingdom, and we're going to have meetings and events in there. It's going to be a really, really cool space. Landval worked on that. They did an amazing job. It's really, really cool. I love how it looks and came out.
Yeah, Landval does a great job. We had them on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Boomer's great.
Yep.
So we also built out our NFT worlds. that's also kind of medieval themed. Not everything we do is going to be medieval themed, but those are kind of like the branding developments where this is branding the Council of Kings and NFT world. It's more of a promotional kind of push and just a fun thing for the community to do. It's not something we're planning to really monetize. We believe in giving back as much as possible to people, and the value will inevitably come back to us and our project. The more value we give back to the community and just to everyone. So NFT Worlds was just a really fun thing. We have 5 more, so we're looking into what we can build on top of that. But we also have land in multiple different metaverses. But again, the thing is, not many of them are open. So right now, it's we're following what they're doing, what the project is coming up with, what kind of updates, when the estimated time for opening is going to be, so we can kind of plan ahead. And then in the meantime, we're looking at all the other potential new metaverses, all the play to earn worlds that are coming out, and there's a lot there's a lot in the mix that you need to sort through. And it's kind of tricky because a lot of them, the metaverse is it's a hot word right now, that a lot of projects are kind of taking advantage of and promising a lot, and then really not much is going to come out of that. So it's a tricky space to navigate when you're investing in metaverses, and then you have people in your community saying, oh, look at this one, and this is a new one coming out, and it's a lot of fluff, I think. We really like to invest in teams that have like a gaming background or a development background, which is why I love the Sandbox so much. They've been making games for who knows how long, decades plus. So we really like the social aspect with the emphasis on gaming. I think gamers are the only biggest demographic larger than like Facebook's, which is like 2.9 billion, and then there's like 3.8 billion gamers in the whole world. They play a ton of different games, but at the end of the day, they like to play video games. Who doesn't like to play video games? So if you can attract them with a fun new experience, and it's in the metaverse, I think it's genius. All it comes down to, it comes back to the execution and the actual user experience, which is the most important part, because everyone has Web 2 AAA games that are the most amazing experience already. So you're going to need to really create something unique and amazing and truly like inspiring to bring these people in and onboard them. And so we really want to help push that kind of mass adoption as much as we can. Obviously, we're not like a huge player in the space, but I think with the developments we're doing and the projects that we're working with, a large focus of that is onboarding typical kind of Web 2 projects and companies, because all of our developments are very applicable to Web 2 companies coming in and being able to just like seamlessly just bridge their brand and their IP into whatever spaces we're building. So a large emphasis on that for sure. And then it's just investing and buying into projects like big time and like some other play to earn very large, very impressive gaming companies that that's inevitably going to be like an entrance point for a lot of gamers. They're going to want to play real games, not very very early like pre alpha games. That's I'm a big fan of big time.
I think I'm gonna be checking their game out here in like a week or so. I think they reached out to me.
Oh yeah, is that like pre-opening? You got a spot?
I don't know. They reached out to me because I used to be a professional Call of Duty player, so I signed up for like their game testing or something on their Twitter. Okay. And they reached out to me and my friend, and they were like, "Hey, we'd like to give you like a preview of the game, or just fill out this Google Meet." And I was like, "All right, dude, whatever. I'll check it out." Yeah, it looks pretty sick. So
yeah, no, it looks really good. A lot of thought was put into it. I think they have their next sale coming out in 2 days.
Yeah. And I think just games like that, I definitely think show, you know, the time put into it, because they said like, yeah, you know, we're wanting to put like years into our game. And I think a lot of people, you know, like you said, metaverse is a buzzword, and play to earn game, and all these NFT projects are promising all these things. And I just think that you compare a game like GTA or Call of Duty, or, you know, a big AAA studio game, to like what a team of like 5 people can make. And it's just, a lot of people just get let down by these projects because they think some like crazy game's going to come out. That's why I like Sandbox, and I like you said, NFT worlds, because, you know, they're simple builder games that it's not like it's voxels, and Minecraft is I guess cubes and pixels and stuff, and it's not like crazy graphics, and you can just build on top of that. And I think you'll see a lot of the younger generation gravitate to Sandbox and NFT worlds for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And NFT Worlds, their team is relatively small, but the great thing is they built on a platform that already had billions of dollars invested to create it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy, of course, but they had that foundation already. Sandbox, it was built from nothing. So it's going to take a lot longer. We understand that it's a vastly different thing than NFT Worlds. But again, NFT Worlds, it's Minecraft, just with that added layer of Web3 and integration. But yeah, the possibilities for games, I think there's no limit. I mean, they can be just as good as typical Web2 AAA games like Call of Duty, like Battlefield. It takes time though. But I think it's absolutely possible. I don't think it's necessary for all games though. Like I don't think we're going to want every single game to be a play to earn game 10 years from now that comes out, like Elden Ring that's not a game that needs to be play to earn. There's just games that don't fit in, but games like GTA, like imagine a play to earn kind of GTA game. I mean, it's really amazing to think about the possibilities, and it's so early still. So it's also hard to imagine. But yeah, no, the AAA studios, they have, teams of 100, 200 plus people, but a lot of what's going on now, it's a lot of like startups and people that just have a vision, and a small team. But even though, they have a small team, I think it's very possible to create a really, really amazing project. Like No Man's Sky, for instance, I just watched this documentary on, they had like a team of like 7 people, like in 2013, it took them 4 years to build out the game, and then it was a complete letdown. But they kept working on it. Now it's 20 updates later, they have one of the most amazing games out there. So I wouldn't if you're someone like in this space that's looking to buy into a project, I wouldn't just look at how large the team is or how big their budget is. It's definitely about the actual people behind it. If it's a team of 5 or a team of 50, and that's what we look at when we invest. I mean, we try to talk to the founders of all these projects and all these metaverses, because I think it's a particular type of person that is going to be building these spaces and wants to create a metaverse. And so it's a lot of them have the same similarities, like the people we talk to at Portals and the people at BioPills and Network. They're all, they all have that same kind of, I don't know, the same vibe, or the same, I don't know what it's called, but you can tell.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. What I meant was that the small teams, like, people got to give them time. Like, if they are a team of 5, and there's some projects I'm in where they talk about games and stuff, and it'll be like a month, and there'll be people in the Discord like, hey, where's the game at? I'm like, dude, what? Like, what do you mean, where's the game at? Like, it's been a month, dude, calm down. Like, people want stuff to just get spit out. And I am in projects that were in projects where, they just spit a game out. And it's like, there was games on like addictinggames.com that were better than what they put out. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you get with a team of 5 people in a month. Like, you want them to spit a game out, they spit it out.
That just brought back just memories of me in like middle school playing on the school computers on addicting games.
Yeah, the addicting games in computer class.
But yeah, I mean that's another kind of downside to the space. The attention span is so short, and so
Yeah.
these people that are making, you know, quote unquote games that are coming out, they're just pumping stuff out. You know, they're putting out trailers that are not realistic at all and are not going to resemble what the game's going to be, and then people are let down, and then it's just
Pixel
project.
Mon.
Yeah, you know, that was terrible, man. That was really bad. A lot of people got burned from that. It shouldn't have sold out at 3 ETH. You know, they shouldn't have promoted what they did and then put out what they did. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, metaverse space is going to be a $10 trillion industry in the next 10 years, which is, you know, it's estimated, but I think that just shows the kind of potential that there is for a space like this. And it's, you know, it's going to be very different from what it looks like right now, but you know, eventually we're going to get there. So it's really just about navigating in the space and finding the teams that you believe in and think are going to build for the long term. And short term, sure, we'll invest in, you know, projects to hold for a couple months and then get out. But for the majority of our purchases, we're long-term holding almost all of it, unless some, you know, crazy instance happens in it and we need to get out. But
Yeah. On your website, I did read that you guys are trying to bring short-term value. I mean, a lot of what you're talking about is building organically, and you want people that are here for the 5 to 10 years, but you're also wanting to bring short-term value. Like, what kind of short-term value, and like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, so you know, Mars will be relatively short-term, but again, that will take some time because it depends on the rental income. So in the meantime, you know, we're working on different airdrops. We're working on kind of collaborations with other projects to give our holders more value in terms of like whitelist spots or, you know, giveaways. And you know, we give a lot of value in regards to like smart investment thesis. And so we have, you know, channels dedicated just to like our thought process on how to invest in the metaverse and what to look for. You know, why should you invest here? What would you build here? What kind of people you would think would be attracted here, and how to monetize something like that. You know, we're big on education. We're working actually with this company, Tempest Studios. They're a very small team, but they're builders in the Sandbox, and they're creating a voxel masterclass, and it's to teach anyone and everyone how to create a game in voxel. Game build and make games and assets, and make, you know, like a living job, a living wage on just that skill set. So we're working with them, and we're going to be creating something over there with them, which will be very, very cool. But a lot of it is just, you know, providing the value in terms of airdrops that make sense, not just kind of, you know, worthless stuff. Just to throw at people, providing just knowledge and having the community, you know, like alpha groups, and it's very different from your typical projects. It's like it's really wild. I mean, the people that we have in here, they love to share information and share knowledge. We have this group in our Discord. It's called Elders. And it's like 333 people. We're at 163 elders right now. And we like hand class all of them, and we hand pick all of them. And it's all people who they kind of filled out like a Google form, and we asked them like their business experience, like how can they provide value, you know, if they own any land, and all these questions. And then we pick them, and, you know, so now we have this group of elders, which are all, you know, very connected, very impressive individuals with, you know, large networks and a really large skill set. And they just love to give information to the group as a whole, and just, you know, provide that for free just to everyone. And they're all, you know, very, very smart people. I mean, our whole community is really amazing, but then we have, you know, some more people with just a more, you know, life experience and knowledge in the space, and they love to give it just for free and talk to people. Which we're so happy about. I mean, we found those people just really through Twitter Spaces and hosting spaces, and then talking about the project. And we said, hey, if you're, someone experienced in business or have any, past skills or experience in this space, we'd love to, have you fill out the form and we'll look through it and pick, the best people. We were really impressed, actually. I mean, there's like VC managers, like entrepreneurs and CEOs, and like some really, really impressive people that now we have in our Discord, just talking and providing value to us as like an investment company, and then to the project and the community, like just as a whole. So that's really where it is. We're not going to do any staking. We're not going to do any kind of worthless coin that goes to zero in a couple months. Because that, sure, it's short-term value, but I mean, what really is the point of that? So I think it would hurt us more than help us. And all the things we do, it's based on the 5 to 10 year vision. So we're trying to provide that value accordingly. But we're going to have some really cool airdrops and some really cool metaverse implementation with the Kingz and with everything we're doing, though, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, alpha groups and just being surrounded by people that are smart and know what they're talking about is super important. So that's awesome that they come in and they provide that for the community and that you guys set that up. So that is really cool. You didn't mention partnerships. What partnerships do you guys currently have?
Yeah. So before Mint, we're reaching out to a lot of different metaverse projects like Network, like Portals, like NFT Worlds, and some like those. So we're partnered currently with Network. We have Solaverse that we're partnered with. That's another Ethereum-based metaverse that's very early, but I think they're creating really cool concept. We're partnered with Portals, which is a Solana-based metaverse. Their team is amazing. We love everything that they're doing, and the guys over there are really humble and really, really great people. And they're building like a super easy kind of click and drag metaverse. You can build your own apartment, and they're building a downtown right now, which is going to be huge. We're partnered with BioPills as well, which is, they're pretty well known in the space. I think they're maybe our biggest partner on Ethereum, and they've been working for a very long time. They were kind of similar. I guess we were similar to them in regards to slow growth, organic building, just keep executing and working. And so their team is really amazing, and they're very well respected in the space. So we're very happy to be partnered with them. And then we're partnered with Land Vault to do all of our builds and all of our creations, and then as well as Tempest Studios for some kind of gaming aspect and education aspect in the space as well. And we're constantly working towards getting more partners. It's very tricky in this space. A lot of these big projects, they're very hard to reach, the owners, and then they're very hard to set something up like that where it's mutually beneficial. But at the very least, we talk to all of the owners, or we try to, before we purchase and invest. But yeah, we're mainly partnered with like metaverses. We don't really partner with like other PFP projects or other projects kind of similar to us. We'll do like we'll help other projects that are similar to us, like Pangea DAO. We just helped, and they're like a metaverse investment company too. Just because I don't see it as really competition. I see it as more people trying to onboard other people and get more people into the space as fast as possible. So we're happy to do that. I mean, I'm really glad there's more projects coming out that are building and investing in the metaverse and trying to bring and onboard more people to the space. But yeah, we really only try and partner with like actual metaverses. But so we have a few on lock right now, and then we do the like weekly or bi-weekly whitelist giveaways and things like that for other kind of metaverse projects or solid, legitimate projects with good teams.
Yeah. And I guess I never asked, we talked about the Sandbox. Do you guys ever plan on doing voxels of the Kings and Queens?
It hasn't been announced yet, but yeah, that might be
little alpha leak.
Might be something coming.
some voxels. Nice. That'd be cool to see, like with the whole, like with, because all of them have a throne with them, right?
Yeah. So that's gonna be kind of interesting to see how we would add the throne.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be implementing all of everything we do into the metaverse. So that's definitely coming for sure.
Awesome. What else? Oh yeah. So I also read, you guys are planning on having other companies / sister projects. Has any of those been developed yet or talked about? What is that looking like?
Yeah. Just recently, I don't know if you're familiar, but there's this network called Flare Network. And it's, a really, really impressive network and team that are building, something really amazing, just kind of revolving around just like compatibility within all of the tokens. It's really, I can't go through the whole kind of process, but it's,
Yeah.
So we were actually selected to build on their network out of like 30 or 40 projects. They're trying to bring in solid projects. And so we saw that, we read a bit about their network and what they're building, and we applied. And we also saw like Gala Games and Network, and some other projects are building or are starting or planning to build on Flare. And so we're trying to get into a space super early, like Decentraland 2018 kind of early.
Yeah.
So, we saw this as an opportunity, and, very thankfully we were selected. And so we're working on building out that project on Flare now. And so that's going to be like a sister project. I mean, it's called Council of Kings Flare Edition. So I guess you can say it's a sister project, but it's more like, I guess, a twin. And so, yeah, we're very excited to build on that. The art is going to be really, really cool. It won't be Kingz. It'll actually be different, but it'll be like complementary to the Kingz. And so we were talking, me and Justin yesterday, how to kind of implement the NFTs from there with the Kingz and kind of make like a combination of something. So I think that might even be very interesting, coming maybe this year.
We have some cool things planned for it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So we're working on that right now. And then, I mean, we have all of these developments that we're building out. And the developments, I think, is really where the value comes, for the project and for our community as a whole. Because it's very different from, I think, what a lot of people are doing. Like we'll say right now we're building in our 6x6. We started doing like private outreach for clients 2-3 weeks ago. And we have 18 2-year leases on verbal agreements already, which is over 60% of the main area filled.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So regarding Mars, that'll be like almost a 1,000 Ethereum injection once everything is done for that development. And that's just on one single 6x6. We have another 6x6 and a couple more 3x3s. And then that's just in the Sandbox alone. And we have, 100 plus other plots and other metaverses. So, I think the value will always come back around to there, but we're always looking at new projects and new networks even to build on. So Flare was really cool. If another opportunity arises, I think we're more than open to doing that because, we had our 75% of mint to invest in, and we've pretty much, used that, and we've done everything we said we were going to do investment wise. Now it's just about building. But in the meantime, if something comes out where it looks like a really good opportunity, and we can make, just a sister project to complement everything that we're already doing and benefit the initial Genesis Kings, I mean, our community was very happy about Flare. They like that we're, bridging and trying to, get into things early, and just expand, the land that we own in all the different networks. So, yeah.
Right now we're so early that a lot of the metaverses aren't even open, right? So now, in order for us to continue doing what we're doing, we have to create opportunities. It's not about waiting for them, it's about creating them. So that's basically our focus right now, and that's what the 6x6 is all about. We're creating an opportunity on a metaverse that isn't open for when it does open. So when Sandbox opens and this opportunity is available, with the amount of exposure that we have inside of this 6x6, we're expecting it to be an instant focal point. And we're hoping that the Sandbox takes notice of it, and everybody else takes notice of it, and we're able to get possibly a portal that goes directly into there. So it's right now it's all about creating opportunities in areas where if we could just sit back and wait, or we can be proactive and create.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, you guys also, I saw on the website talking about, making some games. What are you guys planning on doing with gaming?
Well, I mean, we did make the game in the NFT worlds, but I think we're going to be doing something much larger in the Sandbox as well, coming very soon, or at least announced very soon. I think gaming is going to be a really big aspect and a big part of the metaverse, not just in like the big play to earn kind of games that are actually just for gaming, like Big Time, but people making their own games in the Sandbox and their own experiences. I like to relate it to Roblox a lot and Minecraft, where Roblox, there's just a single creator who made a really unique, fun game. It was fairly simple, and it gets 500 million plays in a month. And I think that's very possible in the Sandbox as well. Once it opens, and the player base grows a bit, you make a really fun, really cool mini game that people just love, and it becomes like like a cult following of it. I think there's so much potential for things like that, and it all just comes down to your creativity and what you can imagine to build, because it's pretty much all possible. But it is tricky because right now, the Sandbox is so early still. They've been in development for a long time, but there's still some functions for gaming, like FPS, like PvP, like creating like a battle royale game mode. That's not out yet. I mean, we expect it to be out eventually, but if we're building and developing now, it's kind of tricky, and we're a bit limited to what we can do. But we're also building with the expectation that that does come out and it becomes available in the next year. And so we are doing some things that are kind of impossible right now, but won't be impossible 6 months from now.
And I like that we talked about this on a different show that we had, with NFT Worlds. That's something that I really do like about their project is, they allow people to pretty much build on top of them and have that play to earn aspect without having to, like you said, create a token that, could potentially just have no value. And, you get that play to earn, but you're not having to be the one doing all the tokenomics to it and everything with that. Like, you're just building on top of world. So I really like what they're doing with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's super convenient, and it's a seamless transition from normal Minecraft into this Minecraft. I mean, there is literally no difference. And eventually there's going to be servers where it is like Mineplex or the Hive, where they have 50,000 active users every single day playing, and they have like 100 different mini games. And it's just a really, really advanced server. That'll come eventually. It just takes a long time to build stuff like that. But that's coming. And then a server like that, why wouldn't someone want to move from the Web 2 Minecraft server and go to this server if it's pretty much the same thing, and you get to earn a token to potentially make some money on? So it's coming for sure. And it's some people are a bit worried regarding like Microsoft and NFT Worlds building on top of Minecraft and monetizing that. So they're definitely going to have to do a good job regulating what projects are building what in their worlds, because it's all connected to NFT Worlds in one way or another. And so for them to have some life in the project, they definitely need to be kind of monitoring that. But the potential is really great. I would love, a cool survival server in NFT worlds. I think it'd be super fun. And it's Minecraft. Who doesn't like Minecraft?
Yep. I think all it'll take is a couple big YouTubers to make like some Sandbox videos. You get Dream in them to move over to doing some NFT worlds activities, or just even when the Sandbox is out, like content creators making cool videos in the Sandbox, and you'll see massive amounts of people come over.
100%. And that, that's the tricky thing, of course, because they're so stuck in, the Web 2 and all the games that they have. But I mean, you see it like influencers and very, high net worth people and individuals are buying Bored Apes left and right, and they post about it and they make it their profile picture. And people see that. But then at the same time, gamers are a completely different kind of people. They're very stubborn, and they like what they like.
It blows my mind how many gamers are like against Web3 and NFTs and play to earn, and just I'm like, dude, like you're already doing this pretty much. I mean, there are Minecraft servers that people get paid to build stuff, and there's economies in them, and people have to pay to join the server. Like it's already the technology is already all there, and people are doing it. It's just not on the blockchain. It's not official, and I don't get why people are so against it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I would go through Reddits, like just to kind of get the sentiment of people in the space and see what they're thinking, and it's just nobody likes it right now. Which is it. I mean, I guess it's understanding, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, you've been playing CS:GO and you're getting these skins that it's kind of worthless. You don't own anything. I play Apex and I have so many skins. I don't own it though. Maybe I can sell my account by going to a third-party website and trying to find a buyer and trusting this person, and then it's the whole thing. But then you found you have Web3 and games built on this new technology where you actually own that op skin that's worth $5,000, and you can instantly sell it in a marketplace for 1 ETH, and you get paid, and it's done. And so the potential is there. It's definitely there. I think it's just about having these big AAA companies start building in and having just some aspects of play to earn. I don't think it's going to be an entire play to earn economy or system. I think it'll be, a game that's built, and then one aspect of it, like they have one mini game within that game or something where there is a play to earn opportunity there.
I think just owning the skins, or like owning certain items like that. I think Destiny would be perfect. I mean, I don't play Destiny, but my friend, anytime there's like a new update, like I lose a friend for a week, and he's grinding out Destiny, and it's like you're getting items that are like cool to have in game because you're like, oh dude, look, I did the raid, I got this item. Like imagine if that item was going for like 1 Ethereum. You'd have people calling off work. I got to get this raid in because I'm about to make a month's salary doing this raid and getting this item. And it's not like you're not playing and like earning, some of these games you get on just mindlessly grind and you get paid in their token, but you're playing, but you're getting an item that then you can sell maybe 2 or 3 months from now when someone new comes along and they want that item.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Destiny. But I remember playing raids for 4 hours, 5 hours just to finish one raid because they're actually very difficult and hard.
They're complex.
There's a lot that goes into it, and then you would finish the raid and you wouldn't even get an item that you were hoping to get. You just get like materials and some armor that you had already. And there's like a small chance to get that rarer item that people want. But then at the same time, even for that, there's an unlimited amount of those that people can get, right? And so when it comes to play to earn, I think there has to be like a limit on how many of something there is just to create that actual value, and for people to want to spend $5,000 to get that one item, because otherwise they would just grind and get it themselves. Like if there's a limited amount, then they kind of need to purchase it, and if it does give you some kind of upper hand in whatever game you're playing, I think, like, I mean, look at League of Legends and what people are spending just to get skins that don't do anything, and I mean, a lot of video games and companies make most of their money from the microtransactions.
But imagine you had a League of Legends from like season 1 skin And
Yeah.
then, I mean, League has been around for what, like at least almost 10 years, right? I mean, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And, someone new comes in just this year and they're like, yo, what? That's a sick skin. Like, I want to buy that from you. Like, you can't. You like, I don't know where you go to do that, but they just make it so difficult. Like you said, third-party sites, you end up getting scammed. Next thing you know, your Minecraft girlfriend's off with someone else. And yeah, I don't know. I think the world's going to change in gaming, and I think we'll start seeing a lot more stuff like that implemented. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, it'll come eventually. And I think it's just amazing that we're able to see it happen in real time. These projects that come out and they announce their game, and we see it, literally happening before our very eyes. This whole new like revolution that's starting. But it's gonna take time, and it's tricky because no one has patience in this space.
Yeah. Well, once the the Council of Kings that are building for the long term, once people see that those actually bring value and like, oh wow, like these guys said they're building long term, and the people that were there holding from the beginning are now making great returns, and they're going to be like, maybe I should start looking long term, because there's people that weren't into Bitcoin and they were flipping just random coins, and then years went by and now everyone's like, dang, I wish I bought some Bitcoin. And it's like, just you got to have the long-term vision. So I like what you guys are building. I like that you guys are trying to bring as much value back as possible. Just the fact that I haven't even mentioned that, but just 75% of the mint you put back into investing into the project, investing in the land. I feel like a lot of projects invest in like Lamborghinis and stuff. They're like, we got to take some for our shells, but yeah, you guys are throwing 75% back into the project. I love that.
Yeah, I mean that was what was necessary to create, to have us have that, foundation for a long-term project. If we only put 10% and invested 100 Ethereum, I mean that wouldn't get us anywhere.
Yeah,
that's 1 3x3 in a couple NFT worlds. Like, what are you gonna do with that? So we again, it all comes back to providing value to everyone else, and then it'll come back eventually, back to us, back to the team, back to the community. So everything we did was very thoughtfully planned, and there was a reason behind all of it for sure.
Yeah. Well, we are coming up on closing here. I've enjoyed this talk. I appreciate you guys coming on today. I really do. I appreciate you guys watching in the stream. Make sure you guys do check out the Council of Kings on Twitter. Join their Discord. Get in there and interact, and also join the SandStorm Discord. Any closing thoughts you guys would like to throw in there?
Yeah, I'll say if you want to join Council of Kings, you can join our Discord. We have an open sea. I think the floor is like 0.32 or something. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it's a lot of money, but even then, you don't need to invest and have a king to be involved in our community. You can just be there for, the knowledge and the information and everybody that talks and communicates. And you don't need to hold the king. You can still learn and still ask questions and get that value without having a king. But the king will, give you that kind of equity in everything that we're doing. But just being part of the community, we're happy to answer any questions and help anyone out. We love, teaching new people and onboarding people into the space. So join the Discord, I think, is the main thing I would say. Follow us on Twitter and be an active member of the community, and we'll have a really fun 5 to 10 years.
We're very excited for the future. Very excited for what's to come.
Awesome. I'm excited to see what is to come as well. Once again, like I said, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. I want to thank everyone for watching. We will be live again. I think Dizzy will be live tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And yeah, thank you guys for coming out to the show.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sharp.
Thank you.